just when you thought college football can't get any more drama filled, it gets more drama filled. The University of Michigan fired their head coach with cause, Sherrone Moore, because he cheated on his wife and one of those hot 19, 20-year-old interns or staff members of the football team. And some other stuff that is a pretty, other than that, heavy, because, he apparently went to the girl's house and said some things, and now he's arrested. So Sherrone Moore out of the University of Michigan, and pretty sad when you look into the details. But we're here for the football, and honestly, the guy just ruined his career. Ruined his career. He can't get one of those hefty buyouts if he were to get fired the normal way, because it's with cause, and he cheated on his wife, and there are some things going on, some disruptions within, and that gives the university the ability to fire you without having to give you a buyout. And then he goes and makes it worse, getting arrested further, ruins his family most likely, and it's very stupid yet unfortunate situation. And honestly, this has been brewing for weeks. According to sources and what you look online, this has been brewing for weeks, and then it looks like it either got worse or which I believe, in my opinion, they waited till after signing date to fire him, so they can get all the recruits. Hopefully, just the recruits can still drop or still decommit in the 30-day window because their coach was fired. The coach they committed with was fired, but it also just gives them a better sense of security that you locked in these recruits at least, and now they have to make the decision to decommit rather than just make the decision to initially commit to another school. So they waited after signing day. Whether that was a good move, whether that was a moral move by the University of Michigan and whoever makes those decisions, is up to you to decide. And now, just when you thought the coaching carousel is starting to simmer down, with Kiffin, Summerall, and everyone else going around town, around the country, it picked up again. And Michigan, heavily boosted, prime football program, blue blood football program. They're gonna get a top guy. Especially they had weeks to look at the situation and acknowledge they're probably going to have to go in the direction of getting another coach. And I'm pretty sure they're already thinking about getting another coach, because I haven't seen anything from Sherrone Moore on the football side that is anything special. I mean, you went 6-6 the first season. I know the offense was anemic. The offense was terrible. But then this season, Bryce Underwood didn't look like how I expect him to look. I know he's a freshman, but he's a 5-star. He's supposed to show those flashes. Maybe he showed them. If then, I can't watch every Michigan football game. But at the same time, I don't think, you got out of him what you could have fully got out of him as a freshman. And I don't know. I just don't think Sherrone Moore was going to last after this next season anyways. I don't think he's really that good of a coach. You don't want to be the guy after the guy. The guy was Jim Harbaugh. He was the replacement. He was the hand-picked replacement from the same staff. And I would see them. I was expecting them to move on to a different direction after the next season anyways. That would have been my prediction going into the season. But guess what? He made it an easy decision for the University of Michigan. He made them make the decision a season earlier than they probably would have. And now we have to look at new head coaching candidates. And, of course, Kalen DeBoer throws himself in there. Kalen DeBoer is not leaving Alabama. They're in the playoffs. He's fine for now. He's fine until the next season. It's a season-by-season basis as the Alabama head coach, the new Alabama head coach, after Nick Saban. Whoever's after Nick Saban, whether it's after DeBoer, doesn't matter. It's on a season-by-season basis. If you suck, if you go 9-3 and then go 9-3 again, you're fired. So it's a season-by-season basis so far by Kalen DeBoer, but he's not going anywhere. So I think those arguments should be put to rest. But the real ones are are they going to go in the Bob Chesney, John Summerall, new younger head coach direction, or are they going to go into the more experienced head coach direction? Trying to keep the recruits, trying to keep them on a winning path and all that, because it's not like the program's in dumps. They had a 7-5 season, then they went 9-3. They were one win away from getting into the playoffs most likely. So it's not like their season is, they're still competitive, real competitive program. They just got a 5-star quarterback. Now their main goal should be retaining that 5-star quarterback, and who's going to do that, I don't know. But now you have to look into other options. And I'm interested to see if they go in the Bob Chesley, John Summerall direction, or they go in Brian Kelly, or as I said, just as an example, Kalen DeBoer, even though I think it's not going to happen, Kalen DeBoer, they go Jesse Minter from the NFL direction. I'm interested to see the direction of Michigan. The top donors, they got all these donors. They're going to get someone big. They're going to get someone worth it. And I just don't know who and where do they come from. Do they come from the G5 or a Manny Diaz? It's going to be interesting. I do not think Brian Kelly's a good coach, so don't go Brian Kelly. But if you want to ruin your program, go ahead and get Brian Kelly. That's another premier program we don't have to worry about if Brian Kelly goes to Michigan. But yeah, man, just things get weirder and weirder in college football. Weird, just straight up weird. Sherrone Moore, Jesus, man. Jeez, man. He's like, I don't even want to make any jokes about the situation because he just made it worse by the actions that he did after finding out that he was getting fired. So I don't even want to make any jokes about the situation. Like, usually I can joke around with these topics a little bit, but after what happened, like after the further details came out little by little, it was like weird. At first I thought initially Sherrone Moore fired already. They did it the season too early, maybe. But hey, at least they're going in another direction. They probably have someone picked out. Then you look at, he cheated on his wife with someone on the Michigan staff and possibly got them pregnant. Jesus, that's heavy. And now it's like, okay, now you're facing criminal charges on some real, if that wasn't already serious enough, some real serious shit. Real serious shit. But Michigan, man, they're not in shambles. They have the money, they have the boosters, they have everything, they have the resources that they need to pick up right where they left off and maybe even go into a better direction after this, which I think they did. Also, another head coach, Jedd Fisch. That's who I would look at. Jedd Fisch, Washington head coach, the successor of Kalen DeBoer at Washington. Jedd Fisch, possibly. Imagine it's Urban Meyer. That would be insane. Go with Connor Stallions. He loves the program. But other than that, nothing for you. I don't know, and we don't know any further details. There'll probably more come out. Even more crazier details will come out as the day goes on, as the night goes on, as the week goes on. And very, very unfortunate situation. But Michigan, honestly, if I had to say it, Michigan's future with firing Sherrone Moore, in my opinion, because I'm not a big Sherrone Moore fan. I don't think he's that good of a coach, and I don't think he was ever going to be the guy that gets him to another national championship. But you had to hire someone within the Harbaugh farm and the one that created that, or was responsible for that offense that you had with Corum and J.J. McCarthy. You had to hire that dude after winning a national championship. You had to. It was like you had to do it. But I don't think he was ever that guy to be a head coach to lead a Power 5, like top 10 named premier program to a national championship. So if I had to say it, Michigan's future looks brighter tonight than it looked this morning. That's just my opinion. And that's my opinion's probably worth nothing. Other than that, subscribe, do the thing, comment, like, do the whole YouTube algorithm booster thing for me, please, if you enjoyed the video, if you stayed this long. And I'm not a Michigan fan. Go Canes.